I don't know, a nerve part of my hand or something. Also, we're live.
Sweet.
That was really quick going live. Jesus.
I mean,
Yeah.
that part was quick. We were late though, so it kind of evened itself out.
Yeah. I will take
But
full
yeah,
responsibility.
last week it was really quick too. Remember?
You're right, it was actually. Maybe Twitch is getting their shit together.
Or maybe just this time frame is good.
Could
I
be.
was literally about to say, man, I don't remember last week. Then I realized I wasn't here for last week's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoops.
So welcome back.
Where were you, John?
Hey, I was busy setting up a tournament. So setup time basically bled into when the podcast was and I couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's fair. How did your tournament go?
Pretty good. We got over 20 people. We had 5 different events and a bunch of different people won. My friend Joss won 2 of the 5 tournaments. I won 1, and some people that are new to the tournament scene actually cleared up the other 2.
Isn't she like very competitively able to play those games you were playing though?
Yeah. No, Joss was ready and raring to go. It was hilarious.
Is that short for Jocelyn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what were the games? Because I was saying I think it was Dr. Mario was one of them. Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it more
So we
than
had
just
Tetris.
that?
Yeah, we had Tetris, we had Dr. Mario, we had a mixed mode Tetris and Dr. Mario where you played both games.
Okay.
And then we had high
Like
score
at the same
battles.
time, how does that one work?
So mixed mode is built into Tetris and Dr. Mario for the Super Nintendo. You have 5 minutes and it's a score battle. You have to clear 15 lines on Tetris B mode. Then you have to clear stage 4 of Dr. Mario. Then you just play A mode for the rest of the remaining time limit. And whoever builds up the highest score is the winner.
Okay. Was that like a pain in the ass to keep track of?
No,
did-
the game
it wasn't?
tracks all the scores.
Oh,
No
okay.
problem.
That's not so... Yeah, that's fine then. Cool. What were some of the
Like,
prizes?
It's literally built in there, so...
Yeah.
It was all or nothing tournament, so first place got all the prizes.
Okay.
$20 in store credit for Video Game Trader. 2 tickets for Friday's Comic Expo.
Is this per tournament? Like every person who got first got this exact same thing?
Yeah, there were
Okay.
some differences, like Tetris High Score and Tetris Champion. Both got those like Tetris lamps, the ones that you move the pieces in any pattern you want and they all light up.
Right. Okay.
Never seen that, but okay. That seems like something you would find on like ThinkGeek.
It is a ThinkGeek thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There was a bunch of other like expo gear, like frisbees, backpacks, water bottles, stuff like that.
Nice.
But no, they were actually pretty decent. So
Very, very cool.
yeah, so we don't know when we're running our next one, but a bunch of people said they're going to make sure they can make it. So it's getting there. It's starting to work.
Nice. Very, very good. And
So
you're able
you're
to...
going to the Comic Expo on Friday, I guess. Then
Yep, for sure.
that's a bummer. I'm going Saturday.
I mean, Saturday's the one day we're trying to avoid because it's the busiest day. So
Yeah, I was aiming for the big day.
Yeah, that's probably that
so-
day. Yeah.
oh, easily.
Yeah.
Paul, are you gonna go?
I mean, if you're going, I'll go for sure. Because you're from out of town, so why not, right? It's an excuse to go.
that sounds good. There you go. For sure.
Find something to do. Probably not stay all day though. There's really
Yeah.
not a whole lot to do. So
I mean, they haven't even put out their like what the panels are going to be. So I don't. At the moment, I'm going to be there for an hour until they tell me there's more stuff to do there.
sure, yeah. Did you
we'll
like
see.
buy tickets or whatever already? Or
I have my
are they-
tickets. I have my tickets already. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I went and saw a Reboot panel, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember there was people that like were referencing like episode numbers, like they knew this stuff like it was Star Wars fandom, and I was just like, "Holy smokes, you guys are way into Reboot!" I just watched this like
Yeah.
when I got home after school, and it was kind of cool because video games.
Totally. That was me too.
But some people are like super into Reboot, which
Yeah.
I get it. Reboot's cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the like news about the new Reboot?
Yes.
I know Paul has.
Yes, I have.
John?
Oh, I loved Reboot. Reboot was great.
Yeah, but have you seen the new news for Reboot?
Yeah.
The reboot.
It looks super rough, right?
Pretty bad. Live action.
Yeah.
About 4 teens that get sucked into their computer. That's terrible.
Oh no! Bob's still there somehow.
Yeah, the
man.
characters are going to be like off to the side, and it's like, why aren't you just focusing on the cool characters?
If they don't have Glitch and he acts like the Batman's utility belt still, then they failed. That's like the last thing.
I was reading a summary. They are going to have the bad guys back. I don't know what they're supposed to look like and stuff.
The teaser poster they put up for one of the characters in Reboot, actually you can see Megabyte's reflection in it. So
right, but it's kind of warped, so you don't exactly know what it looks like.
It looks.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I'll look it up for you, Paul. And get
the whole thing, it's giving me like Code Lyoko vibes. Did you guys ever watch that cartoon?
Oh God, you're totally right.
Which that wasn't live action, but it was the whole premise of like 4 teens would do stuff in the real world, then they would go into their computer and like fight shit. I don't remember. I didn't watch a ton of it. I remember I was into what I saw, but it was just on like weekend afternoons, which I just was never watching cartoons usually at that time.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the chat there, Paul.
Oh, he looks like a reject from like Michael Bay's Transformer.
Well, also, what are we even looking at? Like, are
in the
these
reflection?
humans?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
The reflection is Megabyte or Gigabyte, whichever one they're going to go with.
Right.
And the actual character, that's one of the 4 that the humans transform into.
So it's kind of like, it just makes me think of like Power Rangers or something. I don't know. Why does he have this weird face? This Daft Punk helmet. Is Fong gonna be there? Who's that?
Oh
I'm
my
asking
God.
the real questions.
You're right. They better have Fong there.
You know what?
Would they though? Because he was such a racist stereotype.
That's why they better have him. I want my racist stereotypes.
He's not there. I at least want like a throw. It can be a throwaway line, but I want to be like, oh no, he passed away. We had this funeral. Like I'll even as long as they don't ignore him.
They
like,
acknowledge that he existed.
He's old. Acknowledge that he existed, and you know he died of old age, or maybe in some sweet battle. I don't know.
Some sweet battle. Yeah.
But as long as they don't just completely ignore Fong.
I'm pretty sure Fong was a pacifist, so it would be great for him to die in some sweet battle. Just going blazing.
I like to think of him as like a Master Roshi character where he can fight if he needs to.
Sure.
Yeah, but kind of like Yoda. He's basically Yoda, right? But racist.
Sure. I like my racist Yoda. I'm okay with that.
I also want Mouse to be there with her weird looking hair, and I want it to still look weird. I don't want them to try and like make it work. I want it just to be like, yeah, we didn't put any shaders on this, and it just looks like a void.
Yeah, where you just like have an aneurysm trying to like look at it because it's just like blinking all weird. Yeah. I'm into it. None of this will happen. It'll be completely generic and devoid of any real soul.
Yeah. I'm actually, this is really similar. I was telling you how I was going through Scrubs.
Yeah.
And I'm the last season right now, which I'd actually never watched because they changed all the characters in this final season. And it's just gross. It's just weird watching this.
Yeah.
So anyway. But let's do a video game podcast.
Yeah. Reboot had video games. The user would win and null all of the sprites.
And then everyone would die.
Yeah, essentially. They were just those little things, the worms, nulls or whatever.
Favorite Reboot episode?
Oh. The one where they're in like a fantasy castle or whatever with Mike TV.
Yep.
Oh, that's a real good episode.
I have 2. That was going to be one of them.
Okay.
Also, Mike TV. Mike TV has to be back. Here's the bad thing.
Yeah,
Mike TV is probably going to be back, but he's going to be like shouting memes.
Oh no!
You know what I mean?
No!
Oh,
you're
God,
totally right.
You're totally
They're
right.
gonna be like, oh man, we got to save the day. Then whatever Mike TV now looks like, which I'm assuming he looks like Snit Station from YTV.
He's gonna look like a flat screen. There's just gonna be like this little flat screen walking around.
Or he's gonna be like an app.
Oh
like,
no!
So they're gonna be like, we got to save the day, and then Mike TV is gonna be like,
Dicks out for Harambe.
Yeah.
Charlie bit my finger. I don't know. What are dumb memes that nobody?
Cash me outside. How about that?
Oh man!
Thank God you're here to bring us up to date on the latest memes, Sean.
I actually want this to happen now.
Oh God!
Oh,
Oh,
it'll be
man.
worse than like Borderlands 2, just going overboard.
You know the worst part
Anyway.
about it is that Mike TV wouldn't be spouting memes for like that everybody knows. They would have writers try to create new memes with hashtags and stuff so that they could promote reboot.
Maybe.
That's the worst part about it.
John, favorite episode?
I'm trying to think because like a couple come to mind, but I can't lock down which one's my favorite. The one in the castle is real good. The one where Enzo wishes he was smarter than everyone is a real good one.
Okay, yeah. What about
Yeah,
Enzo's
like-
birthday, where there's a badass fucking
Yes,
guitar
the ending to
duel?
that episode is
Oh my
so
god!
good.
And then he just gives him the guitar and leaves. Megabyte is the
I
bomb.
always wanted to do that.
I do remember that one.
Yeah.
And actually, throwback to when I was talking about, I went to a reboot panel. Someone brought up that because I guess in the background there was like a code or something on the wall,
Okay.
and the person was asking like what the code, and I was just like, "What are you talking about? Holy shit!" Anyway,
What was the answer? What was the code on the wall?
I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
I
I
don't
don't
remember.
even know what it was.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, it's like, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Okay. Do you know? Are you gonna tell us?
I'm literally looking it up right now.
Okay, cool.
While you're saying that, I'll say one of my favorite episodes. I really like, spoilers for Reboot, when they're like stuck in, what's the one where they're trapped in like the space, like they're actually trapped in the thing. What was that one called? What was that area called? Remember when like Enzo grows up?
The web, you mean?
The web, right? Sorry, yeah. So when Enzo grows up, I really like
Yeah.
when Bob like reveals himself.
Sure. Yeah.
That was super cool.
He's all,
this
like,
guy just
silvery.
hanging around, and he like
Yeah.
yeah, he's all silvery, and it's like, who's this dude? He just like saved his life, and it's Bob. Oh, so cool.
It was fucking alphanumeric as hell, Doug. For sure.
Oh my God.
For sure. Actually, yeah, everything with Matrix is that's what they called him, right? Grown up. He was
Yeah,
just
Enzo
like,
Matrix just
Yeah.
called himself Matrix.
so yeah, anything with him was pretty
With, like,
good.
tape to like lock in on the target.
Yeah. So,
I
so dumb.
it's real silly, but I do like the idea that the show was just like, hey, this is like 20 years have passed. They've been trapped.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. That was a cool way to shake it up.
I agree. And then they kind of went back on that with like Kid Enzo, like a copy of him or something coming back or whatever. It got weird.
Yeah.
I remember at the end.
Yeah, he forgot to switch his actual like code back to mainframe. It was still Guardian, or it was still netcode.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
sprite code. That's what it was, because he like game sprite.
That's
That was how they
right.
managed to survive hopping from game to game.
That was actually, I thought, just a clever as hell idea, where it's like, no, we're just gonna follow the games. That's what we do to survive. It's really good.
I bet everyone's probably just like, what are you guys even talking about? Because this was such a Canadian thing, right?
Well, no, Reboot was real big in the States too.
I don't think it was as big, from what I understand, because I keep talking to my friends down here and they have no idea what I'm talking about. And it was made in Vancouver, right?
I believe so.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was aired in the States, but nowhere near as often it was aired on like YTV. Because we got that stuff like every day for a few years there.
People should check out Reboot though, if they have no idea, like the original,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, keep in mind, it's going to look awful. It's the first computer-generated cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun show.
Yeah.
Apparently, Enzo is the only character to appear in every episode of Reboot.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, I could believe that. All right. Well, we should probably talk about video games, which is what we
Yeah,
do
like
here.
you said earlier, this is the top down perspective.
Yeah.
It is April 7th.
Yeah.
Sean Booker, John Wheeler, Paul Fleck, we're all
Yeah.
here.
Hi.
Hey, what was your favorite April Fool's video game prank?
None of them. The Miss Pac-Man one for Google Maps actually was pretty good.
I think that was the only one I looked at for more than a second. Yep.
I actually stayed off the internet that whole day because I hate that like fake news crap that happens, and I get excited about stuff that doesn't exist. So like, no, I wasn't doing it this year.
All right, John, you missed a week. What have you been playing in the last 2 weeks?
All right. So last week I finished Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Okay. Done. Or are you going back and even more?
We're done. We got all the shrines, and we got a quarter of the Korok seeds, and we're not bothering to get the rest.
That's
Smart.
probably fair. Yeah.
I've been told the prize for getting them all is awful.
Okay.
And
sure.
like, you don't even need all of them to get all of the expansions for your inventory. You only need like half of them.
Do you get anything for getting the rest then, besides like the thing at the end?
You do, but apparently it's like kind of like a slap in the face.
Oh, good. Okay.
Are we talking about the Korok seeds? Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about the Korok.
Yeah, I looked it up, and don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I love that ending though. I liked it. I know some people had a problem with it.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I was actually kind of disappointed in the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like a letdown compared to everything else. It felt like kind of an afterthought.
Probably was.
I don't know how else to describe it without getting into spoiler territory, but like, for all the time we spent and all the fun we were having, the ending was just kind of like, oh, that just happened. I don't know. Like I said, can't really get into spoilers, but it was just, compared to the rest of the game, the ending's pretty lackluster. But at least it's still like the rest of the game was still super enjoyable, so I'm still glad we played it. We ended up clocking.
Yeah, it's the journey, right? Not the destination.
Yeah, I think we clocked about 100 hours on the game.
Is there a way to check?
Yeah, go to your profile. So when you're on your Switch, go up to like your avatar in the corner. You know, where you check your online friends and friend requests and stuff like that, and your profile will tell you how long you've played a game, if you've played it longer than 2 weeks or something like that, or if you've had it longer than 2 weeks.
Because one of the complaints somebody was saying to me about the Switch was how that like thing doesn't track properly at all. It's like, you've been playing for, I don't know, a couple minutes, I guess, or just like dumb shit like that. But it's actually pretty accurate.
Apparently, it'll say like you've played for 100 hours or more. Apparently, like it tracks mainly when you're online if you're like traveling around.
Gotcha.
But we've only been playing in docked mode, and yeah, apparently it takes a couple days before it gives you an accurate number. I don't know why, but it does.
That's weird. Gotcha though. Okay. Couple days. It's just trying to think, trying to process how much time you put in, I guess.
Other than that, I also beat Super Bomberman R, and
nice.
I've started doing something with that. They have a rank mode in Super Bomberman R, so I'm working my way up the ranks on that. So I'm going to try to see if I can get to the top tier.
Okay. Is this a single player thing or like an online thing?
Online multiplayer.
Online multiplayer? Okay.
Yeah. So there's 12 ranks you can go through, and I think I'm on rank 8 now. So I have another 4 to go, and then I'm on top tier.
Okay. Do you notice anybody on your friends list or anything that are like beating you?
I know they don't show you who's on your friends list that's ranked better than you, which is stupid.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, I've had a couple people that I've played matches with like send me friend requests, but it doesn't do anything. It's just literally like, oh, now they're my friend that we can play at some point, maybe. Who knows?
Man,
maybe when they finish adding features.
Super Bomberman R seemed like they just didn't know how to do online properly or something from all the complaints I've heard about it. That's weird.
Apparently they did peer-to-peer instead of having proper servers.
Oh, is that what it is?
Which is weird, because that's supposedly the case, but I also got booted during a match for the servers going down, which made no sense if it was peer-to-peer.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But, like, I've had some matches be flawless. I've had some matches be completely unplayable. So...
I mean, someone from Konami should write in at topdownperspective@gmail.com and let us know.
Yeah, there you go.
If they're listening.
Explain everything.
Yeah.
So did you come down as like thumbs up on this game?
I'm still into it. But it's not an easy recommendation, if that makes sense. I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm enjoying climbing the ranks. I'm playing, like, I've played some real good Bomberman matches. But based on the price point and based on the fact that you need the Switch to also get into it, and not everyone can get the Switch right now, it's real hard to recommend.
If you were to hands down recommend a version of Bomberman, which one would it be?
Splody right now is pretty good. It's like $8 and on Steam with 16-player multiplayer.
That sounds really good. You're right. Yeah. I haven't even actually heard of this. I'm going to check it out.
It only came out like 2 weeks ago. We met the dev at PAX East, and I also played in a Bomberman tournament with him at PAX Prime last year. So
did you beat him?
Yeah.
Good. All right. That's all.
But then he beat
about.
me at Splody, so it balanced out. What was I going to say? As an actual Bomberman version, like the game's good. It's just if the online being as janky as it is at times, that's the only reason I can't give it like a solid yes, get it. If the online worked perfectly, then I would say 100% yes, get it.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you're looking for just online multiplayer with like to play against each other, that's official Bomberman product. The last one that was on either the Wii or the PS3 and 360, I think it still has the servers up. That's Bomberman Battlefest or Bomberman Live, one of those two.
Okay.
Those seemed pretty good, and they had a lot of features. Otherwise, if you're just looking for a single-player experience, play one of the N64 ones. The N64 ones, and apparently Generations have the best single-player.
I remember my friend getting Bomberman 64 when that came out because he had a 64 and I didn't. We just played for like countless hours that game. Love that game.
Yeah. I loved Second Attack. I grew up with Second Attack, but I never liked the multiplayer compared to the 2D ones. I always thought the 2D multiplayer was way better.
Gotcha.
John, if someone was buying a Switch and they wanted 3 games to buy for it, would Bomberman R be in those 3?
Ooh.
Are we counting digital games or only physical?
Yeah. Digital. Yeah.
Probably not.
No?
Because there's a bunch of good digital games on the Switch that you can get now that are cheaper and you'll probably get more out of than you would potentially for Bomberman. Unless if you were in a situation where you're gonna be playing a lot of multiplayer, then yes. Local multiplayer is perfectly fine with Bomberman R.
Okay. If you're in a situation for local multiplayer.
If you're in a situation for local multiplayer, 100% recommend.
Like college dorm room or something. Always have like 3 other people around. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. It's perfect for that. It supports up to 8 players on one Switch, or you can just connect 4 Switches together. I think you might be able to connect 8 Switches. I'm not sure. But yeah.
For you and your 7 friends who have a Switch.
Yeah. But either way, like that situation is perfect for Bomberman. But if you're only playing it for the online, then
Okay.
But I will tell you what game on the Switch is a good recommendation, and that's digital. That is Blaster Master
Snipper
Zero.
Clips. Oh.
That too. That too.
No, what's the game? Blaster Master Zero?
Yeah, Blaster Master Zero, done by Inti Creates. It's essentially just a remake of Blaster Master for the NES.
Does it have Pro Controller support yet?
Yes, I had it like a week later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's had Pro support for a while.
I just know it launched without it, so.
Yeah, which was weird, but thank God they fixed it. Because that's what we played on. We played using the Pro Controller, and it was perfectly fine. Good game. It took us about 6.5 hours to get the finish it completely. It is basically a remake of the NES Blaster Master, but actually like easier. Actually, a lot easier. Shockingly enough, like I had next to no problem with it except for a couple small spots.
Is that just because of updated controls, like modernization of like how the game plays?
So for those who don't know Blaster Master, you drive around in a tank, but you can also get out of the tank and do platforming.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is like if you fall like 3 or 4 like tiles too high, you will take heavy damage or you'll just straight up die.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of parts where you have to like do a leap of faith and grab a ladder in midair. Otherwise you will hit ground and die. And I think that's where like 80% of my deaths came from, was from just trying to grab the ladder, because the ladder mechanics are awkward.
Okay.
So other than that, it was not hard at all. I think 90% of the game I had the max gun upgrade. So the way it works is when you're running around on foot and you're fighting bosses and enemies, if you take a hit, your gun gets downgraded. So you have to keep collecting gun power-ups to keep it up to max. But there's one item you can get where there's a little barrier that you can take a hit and you won't lose it, and then it comes back after like 5 seconds. So because of that mechanic, we spent 90% of the game with the most powerful gun, and then in like the final 2 worlds, we were just getting bodied, and we had to get used to using the weaker guns again.
Okay.
I don't know. I really liked it. It's fun. Like I said, it's definitely easier than the NES one is, so that might actually make it more approachable. They added a storyline that's a little awkward because it's a little poorly translated, but that might also be a perk for some people. I don't know. Either way, super fun. Highly recommend it.
Right.
Nice.
Otherwise, I played River City Ransom Underground co-op on stream. So they finally patched it so people actually like save their characters and stuff. Story progress only goes to the host, unfortunately, but you can actually save your characters and like carry them through your files and stuff like that.
That was the same with Scott Pilgrim, though, right? I believe.
Well, online was added like years later.
That's true. Yeah.
So not the best comparison, but probably the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like now that it's patched and working, it's pretty good. It's exactly what I hoped it would be.
Good.
I think they still have a couple things to work out, but all the patches have definitely done a wonder into that game.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
And last but not least, I played a game called Tricky Towers, which is basically, it's basically Tetris with physics, and
That's
very frustrating.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Most frustrating game I've played in a while. You have all these competitive modes, like you have to use these Tetris pieces to build a tower up to a specific like marker at the top, but you're racing other people to do it.
Oh, I've seen this. I think this might have been on PlayStation Plus.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe for this month.
No, it was not.
Was
recently.
it a few months ago?
Yeah.
It was in a Humble Bundle recently for like $1. I know. So like a bunch of people were able to get it recently. I know. This is a game I'm 3D Homer has been touting for ages now, trying to get me to play, but I know myself, and I know I'm going to get so frustrated playing it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Like, there was just a bunch of times where I'm like, no, that's not how it works. No, physics, no.
Yeah.
And, like, you can use powers to mess with other players, and it's just the most frustrating thing.
Yeah. It's fun to watch, though. I've enjoyed watching people play that against each other. So,
PlayStation Plus back in August.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was on sale for $1 in one of the Humble Bundles, like super recently. So I picked it up. When you're not wanting to kill the people you're playing with, it's fun.
Nice. Does it have online play?
Oh yeah, up to 4 players, I believe.
Yep, that's right. Did they fix the thing yet with the online play where you don't know who's who? Like, you know who you are because you know your character, but as like a spectator, it doesn't show like a little name tag, so no, but like you just don't know who.
I didn't do any spectating, so I don't know.
Gotcha. That's irritating as a spectator. That's one of the things I wanted them to change, but yeah.
I think I remember seeing names when we were playing Versus. So
awesome.
I'm not 100%
they changed that.
I'm not 100% certain though.
Okay, cool. Either way, that's a fun game.
Otherwise, that's pretty much all I played.
Okay,
nice.
Paul?
I actually didn't play anything new or worth talking about. I tried to get back into Mass Effect Andromeda, played for half an hour, and turned it off. I can't. I just don't want to. So there's been nothing.
I think
new.
I played it last weekend for a bit. I just chatted with my homies, and that's like all I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some parts of that are still okay, but yeah, no motivation to play that. So I've just been biding my time. I'm going to go back to Persona 5 here in a little bit. I haven't got to crack that open yet, so
okay.
That'll be next week I get to talk about that.
I've been playing a game on my phone called Kami 2.
Okay.
It's free. It's spelled Kami and the number 2. The first one I never played, and that one you have to pay for, but this one came out free to play.
I've played the first one.
It's a puzzle game that looks really nice. It's kind of like origami folding, but you're tasked with like making everything one color. So like the very first stage is the most simple form of this, where think of like a square, but the square is bisected into two sections, and then one side is like red and the other one's green, and then you make your like color pointer green, and you tap the red side, and now everything that the red side is connected to will turn green, and then you win because now both sides are green. And then they'll mix up the patterns a ton, and it gets really, really hard. And but like I said, it's free to play. There's a ton of stages. They only get money out of you by purchasing hints. Otherwise, yeah, it looks great. The sound is nice. So if you like puzzle games, I'd recommend Kami 2. And then the only other thing, I mean, I've been playing Zelda as well, obviously, just kind of jamming out with Zelda. I'm not trying to beat it at the moment, so I'm just exploring around. The last game I played, and I actually have no idea how much I can talk about this. I know I can't stream it or do video, so I think I can talk about it. I've been playing Yooka-Laylee.
I can't show it off, but I think I might be able to talk about it.
Well, I was looking through the review stuff, and all it said is don't stream it or post video of it until like Monday.
There are straight up reviews of that game out there.
So I think I'm good. I can talk about it. I've been playing Yooka-Laylee yesterday and all day today.
Okay, so the one thing I know about Yooka-Laylee from reading some of these reviews is that I think a lot of reviewers didn't expect it to be what they said it was going to be, because I saw a lot of people's problems was, this is like the old Banjo-Kazooie games. It's like, yeah, you're right, it is like that. That's what they've been saying forever. So
yeah, it is so like those games. Like, right. It is a N64 puzzle platformer.
Yeah, which they've said since they made it, since they started.
Yeah. Don't expect a ton more. Like, a few gripes with it. Sure. I can't deal with the like Simlish talking that every character does. It's too much. It's too loud. When you're talking to them, they're just going like and it sounds awful. I don't know if it was better when I was a kid, but I don't like it. It's just too much. So that kind of sucks, but it's a minor gripe. And then the other thing is the camera can be kind of annoying. It likes to just like, if you're rotating around and it hits like a wall or something, it tends to like just freak out. I've had it like just
really
bounce
is
off
like
walls.
Banjo-Kazooie. Oh man,
yeah,
like straight up.
They straight up listened. They listened to the T.
You know what? You can't even get mad at them for that, though, because they've been saying those exact words. So when people are saying it's like, yeah, but it's like too much like Banjo-Kazooie, it's like, that's what they've been saying, though, dog. That's all they've been saying.
But I would have liked it to be like totally modernized, and they modernized other stuff, for sure. But I just don't like that camera. It makes kind of looking around, and some of the platforming is kind of difficult, and you need like a good camera, and messing around with that camera can be kind of annoying.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that is everything you want. You're getting new moves. You're doing ground stomps. There's so many collectibles. The whole game is basically just collecting stuff. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go into the world, and there's like 50 things you can do in that world, and you can even expand each world and then come back to them later and stuff. I understand there's even like an old school mode where you can make it look like an N64 game if you want. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
But there's that too.
I'm down with that. I'm fine. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. But it looks great. It's super colorful. It sounds great. The music is fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's humor in there. It's not amazing humor. But there's a lot of like self-referential stuff. A lot of like, we'll address that in the next game. Tons of just like meta jokes. People are asking if it adds heavy fog. Again, I haven't tried out the N64 mode.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's good. I'm having a good time with it. I think it's going to be a good podcasting game. Because there's barely any story there, and you can kind of just like put a podcast on, and then leap around the place and collect some pages. You gotta collect pages. The whole thing is like this super book got taken, and all the pages fell out, and you gotta collect the pages. But they call them pages.
Yeah.
Everything has eyeballs.
Yeah. Okay.
You get to the guy that gives you new moves is a snake named Trouser, who
all right.
Shorts. But if you think about it, like here's the head of the snake, and you go down the body, and it goes into like the waistband of the shorts and out one leg, and then back in the other leg, and then up by its head. So he's not wearing the shorts right, but he's also a snake.
Right. So you got to give him a pass, kind of, right? Like,
yeah. And like, which one's the bat? Laylee? Yooka?
Yeah, Laylee.
I think Laylee's the bat. Even like calls him out on it. Like, why would we listen to you? You're not even wearing your pants correctly. And,
man, that's just rude. Sassy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Trouser's out there just trying to like run a business. He's just trying to get some deals going. Give the guy a break. He's taking phone calls left and right, which is actually how you find him. You like, for his cell phone ringing, his '90s brick cell phone that he keeps in his pants and answers quite often. But yeah, anyway, Trouser Snake. There's a fair number of jokes are in the same like genre as Trouser Snake.
Okay.
Which was fun to see. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you could go for some Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Kazooie, Yooka-Laylee, the game for you. Yeah, so I'm playing it on Xbox right now. I'm reviewing it, so I should have a review at some point next week.
Cool.
Good times. And that's all I've been playing.
Nice.
Let's go on to the news. I'm going to reorder some of this news because I want to talk about the Mass Effect Andromeda patch first.
Yes.
Kind of touched on how we're not really playing it.
Yeah.
So the big patch came out on Thursday. It looks like it fixed a bunch of facial stuff. The eyes no longer look like empty vessels.
Yeah. They added like some shaders, so it looks like they actually have like, eye sockets.
like their own face.
Kind of important.
Yeah.
Let me just load it up because there's a bunch of stuff happening, and there's even more coming, which now I don't know when I want to play this because I'd rather wait for it to be good.
Well, this is the thing. Is that are they going to ever patch in a better story? Because I don't think they are. Like, the story is boring.
Okay, here's what they changed on Thursday. I think this was patched like 1.05. Am I just pulling that out of my app?
No, that sounds right to me.
All right, allowing you to skip ahead when traveling between planets in the galaxy map. That's
yes,
great.
thank you. Yep.
Increasing the inventory limits. I hadn't even got far enough where that was an issue. So,
no,
but, okay.
Me neither.
Improving the appearance of eyes for humans and Asari characters.
Yes,
great.
Thank you.
God. Thank you. Decreasing the cost of remnant decryption keys and making them more accessible at merchants.
Okay.
I didn't get what that is.
Yeah.
Improving localized voiceover lip sync. That's great. That's real good. I'm tired of her just like, like
yeah,
it's fine.
She's always smiling.
Well, it's just like this weird half, like kind of dead smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks that this game came out so close to like Westworld being a thing.
Right.
There's a lot of similarities there.
Kind of.
Fixing riders' movements when running in a zigzag pattern. Okay.
They just got to fix Mass Effect movement. That like momentum you get is weird.
It is weird. Improving matchmaking and latency in multiplayer.
Okay, that seems like something they could have done whenever.
And they said, over the next 2 months, they'll be rolling out additional patches, which will go even deeper and look to improve several areas of the game, such as more options and variety in the character creator.
Oh, nice.
And general appearance for characters. Ongoing improvements to cinematic scenes and animations. Improvements to male romance options for Scott Ryder. And adjustments to conversations with Hanley Abrams, which I have no idea what that is.
Wait, what would they improve with male love interest for male Ryder? Like, I don't...
Bone warts.
Okay. I mean, I'm all
shouldn't say
down for
people.
boning more people, so I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird.
That's all. That's all I can. That's all I can think of is you must be able to like sleep with more characters, which seems weird because now you're just saying this character is now bi. There you go. You are now into dudes. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but I mean, whatever.
Whatever. Garrus is like the only love interest for anybody in the first Mass Effect games because he's dope.
What was the green dude?
Oh, you're right, Thane. Thane was great.
That's who my character hooked up with. Thane was cool.
But you're just buying into somebody who's gonna die. Like, you can tell he's going to die because he's sick. He's old.
Yeah. It was touching. We shared a moment, okay?
I guess so. I just don't see why he would...
Son like
what?
Isn't Son like an assassin?
I mean, isn't he an assassin? So yeah, they're both assassins, I think. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay. I think wasn't his loyalty mission like stopping his son from assassinating someone important?
Oh, you're right. It's something like that.
Thane's cool.
He was cool. For sure.
He just show up and just kind of hang out, or did he already pass away?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's been so long.
It's his son that was hanging out. Anyway, whatever. So I guess Mass Effect Andromeda is better, but I kind of just want to keep waiting for it to be like real good. I don't know. This is it's weird. Like,
yeah, you want to wait until like a product they can be proud of is fully released. Go figure.
Right, exactly. It makes me think of like No Man's Sky, how that came out, a ton of improvements later, and then I think this brings up a whole bunch of questions of like, which version of the game did you play? Like, if anyone comes and talks to me about Andromeda, I need to ask them, did you like which version were you playing? Because there's clearly going to be different ones, and I don't even know.
Yeah,
weird game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Probably the biggest news this week is we got a huge info dump about Microsoft Scorpio.
Oh,
yeah, we got all the specs for it. I
didn't actually see this
yesterday. Yeah, this was yesterday.
Thursday morning. I don't think we really need to run down how many like teraflops and everything. If people are coming to perspective for that level of detail, what are you doing? And two, just like Google it, and they'll give it a way better description than we possibly could. It's going to have an Ultra HD Blu-ray player though. That's kind of interesting. PlayStation doesn't have that.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just quickly looking over the specs myself. I haven't seen these yet.
Big box.
It is quote unquote better than the PS4 Pro, but we haven't seen it do stuff.
And we knew
yet.
that. Like,
yeah.
We had it before, so
I feel like that wasn't a hard bar to get past, really.
No, like big surprise, the newer thing is better. No, totally, yeah.
I mean, I hope it is better than the PlayStation 4 Pro, because I don't have a Pro. So arguably it wasn't new and cool enough for me to pick one up.
Sure.
And I would love to get a Scorpio if I'm incentivized enough, if there's enough cool things. I was just thinking like, if Scorpio comes out, I should totally like pick it up, transfer all my games over, and then sell my Xbox One to someone on the cheap, help subsidize that cost.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
That for a Pro, why not? Because like I could probably sell my PlayStation 4 for like at least $150. That's like half the price, almost, right?
Looking at the specs, is there anything like about Scorpio that you're just like, you know what? I totally will get rid of my Xbox One for that upgrade. They seem pretty like the numbers are bigger, but doesn't seem to make a huge difference.
That's all you need is just bigger numbers.
As a PC gamer, you're right, but as a consumer, bigger numbers are not better.
Here's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
numbers are bigger, but so is the Pro. I need to see like what that means. What is that going to do for games, and like what that'll add for me? I don't even have a 4K TV, so like, is it going to make it that? Is there any reason to upgrade? So I need to wait and see. That's basically how it is. John, you gonna get a Scorpio?
I'm waiting to see what the price is before I even joke about considering it.
Okay. Let's put in our guesses now. 500.
Yeah.
I believe the article actually straight up states it's more expensive than the PS Pro, which isn't that already. How much is the Pro again? Is that 400 US or 500 US?
400.
I could see 500.
It's gonna be the exact, it's like how they launched 400 and 500.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right.
Yeah, I agree with both of you.
Because like they don't need to make the Scorpio cheap. They have the S out there.
Yep.
So this is literally just for someone, for people who want that power, who want the big thing. You got to pay the premium price. Like they already have a smaller option that can play all the games, just not as fast.
Have you noticed that that's what Microsoft's really just been doing in general lately? Like their pro tier controllers. Now this is a pro tier console. It's like they're just trying to make like high end stuff to go along with their regular stuff as well. It's a little odd. It's like they're trying to muscle in on like Apple's territory in a way.
Which, speaking of which, I said this on Twitter. I bet they call it the Xbox One Plus.
One Plus,
just like Apple phones. That's my guess. That's my guess.
I'd like to think Microsoft would learn from Wii's and Wii U's stupidity, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The name wasn't different enough to differentiate, so people got confused and didn't buy it. This isn't
a different console, though. It's just like the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's just like an upgraded version of it.
And the word plus does make a consumer think this is the better one. I'll have that one.
Yeah, you're probably right on that.
PlayStation 4 Pro, but I bet they just call it the Plus because they needed a different one.
Yeah.
They're not going to call it like the Xbox 1.2 because that's going to be weird. They're not going to call it Xbox 1.5.
Oh, dude. Xbox One 2 would be good.
See, I don't think they're going to do that. I'm calling it Xbox One Plus, which is exactly what it does with their phones, right? They have the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, 6S, 6S Plus.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. I bet it's Xbox One Plus.
I can see it.
Who knows what? But that's my guess.
Sure.
I guess we'll find out in like 2 months. E3, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And what a time to be alive.
Some might say it's the best time to be playing video games.
I mean, if you're going to make that claim, you have to be the best podcast ever.
I heard it on the best podcast.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They're the only ones allowed to say it.
This is a small one, and there's a new Humble Bundle. There's always a new Humble Bundle. This one's just kind of interesting because it's PlayStation games, and I always like it when they bundle like console games in there. So THQ Nordic, you can get like I think it was like 15 PlayStation 4 games.
Yeah.
For $50.
I'm not gonna lie, I bought it to pad out my PS4 library because I kind of had nothing on this thing. So
sure, there you go. Yeah.
Which game?
Oh, the THQ Nordic bundle. So like,
oh, okay.
The PS4 games it comes with are like Book of Unwritten Tales, Red Faction, Super Dungeon Bros, blah blah blah. But what I'm excited about is it gives me an excuse to go back to Darksiders and play Darksiders 2, which I've never played. So
you're gonna play 1 or 2?
I would like to play both. I would rather play 1 again because I already know I like it.
And you were like, Breath of the Wild wasn't Zelda enough for me.
Yeah, honestly. And Darksiders is very Zelda of that style anyway. So, yeah.
That's the thing. All right, that's it for news. Let's go on to some questions. Someone is cooking food in my house and it smells good.
Nice.
John, do you still remember where people can send questions?
TP Podcast on Twitter, topdownperspective@gmail.com, Top Down Perspective on Facebook, along with my P.O. Box.
I'm guessing you haven't been in the P.O. Box this week?
I checked it like a week and a half ago.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's when we did the last show, I guess, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll take the first question. Yeah, okay. Comes in from David, saying, I was wondering if you guys ever look at numbers on a week-by-week basis or any other occurrence. Do you guys ever analyze any of it and think, oh, hey, Sean, or John, or Paul, or whatever, I guess, wasn't on this episode and more people listened to it? Or more people listened when this guy guessed it and reconsider life?
I mean, I do this for streaming, but not for the podcast.
I mean, I don't care at all. Also, I think, Sean, you're muted because I just saw that it looked like you were talking when I was talking.
It's accurate. My answer that I already said was nope.
Okay.
I look at the numbers, but they're all pretty much the same each week.
Yeah, that's fair. Out of curiosity, for my own sake, this is like weird shop talk, I guess. Do more people listen to the audio version than like the YouTube version? If you know.
That I don't know off the top of my head. I think more people watch the YouTube video.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think. But I also have like I don't really even know how to look up listens because I don't know a way to check those kind of analytics. I can go to our like where we're hosting it on Podbean, but I don't know if that's just through Podbean or if that counts like someone putting the RSS feed or like if that even takes into account iTunes.
It should be the RSS feed, I would think.
So like, do you think iTunes connects to that enough and gives back that info? Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe that is the number. But okay.
I would think so.
I still think it's YouTube a bit, but I think they're close.
Yeah, that's fair. He has a second part of this question. I was eating at a local sandwich shop and saw they had a few sandwiches named after people who frequent their shop, and I got the idea for a question. If there was a food, doesn't have to be a sandwich, named after some video game characters, what would it be? I actually like this question. He's asked me this the other day. I said you should actually write into TDP with that because I like that question a lot.
Okay.
So I still don't really have a good answer. I'm guessing Simon Belmont would probably be a fried chicken place because, or like turkey specifically, like fried turkey legs or something.
Wait, why is that?
Because wall chicken. You break the wall and there'd be turkey pieces or whatever, chicken pieces.
Okay, sure. Like Mario's would be like pasta, right?
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
Like an Italian joint?
Yeah, definitely an Italian joint for sure.
Jill's sandwich shop.
That exists, and I'm so mad that we don't live near one. Yeah. I'm so fucking angry about it. I can't remember where it is. I know there's like a game cafe type thing in Japan because of course there is, and they have the Jill sandwich you can buy there. But there's also a place that somebody opened that has that in America somewhere. I can't remember where.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like specific plates as opposed to like a whole shop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
Some kind of like linguine for Luigi.
Okay.
I think Pac-Man is just wedges of cheese. That's it. He's a cheese shop.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Or a pizza place. Either one works.
Just anything circular?
Yeah, it's got to be something circular, but has to be missing a slice. That's the rule of thumb.
Right.
Okay, here's what they do. So they only sell circular food, but the slice they take out, you know how some places are like a sit-down restaurant, but you can also order to go and there's like a glass case where they have the food?
Yeah.
They put the slices in there. Or you can sit down and get like a full one.
I'm gonna fucking ban you, Sunslayer.
How about who's the fish prince in Zelda that everyone's going into?
I'm trying to remember his name right now.
Anyway, fish
like
prince
Scion or something like that.
Yeah, Sidon or something. Yeah,
Sidon sounds familiar.
Yeah.
He definitely has like a fish shop,
totally,
like a seafood place.
Sure. Yeah.
Sidon's seafood.
Oh, there's the alliteration too. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. I would eat there, like, and you can even see the sign is him like flexing with that smile, and underneath the Sidon seafood.
You're right.
Up top on the roof. Yeah, that's.
I think that's the winner. I really like that one.
All right, next question. This is from Sombrero Mustache. He says this question is for John. In the days of old, on the Something Awful forums, before Slow Beef ruined everyone's lives, there was a guy called Deceased Crab.
Yep.
who was part of the Let's Play movement. Apparently, at one point, he uploaded a video or did something back then that earned him a backlash. What exactly did Deceased Crab do to get that backlash?
There was a couple ones, but I'm pretty sure the one you're referring to in particular is when he actually replayed through La Mulana again. He Let's Played through the original release, and then I think when an official release came out, or he might have just either an official release came out and he played through that, or he just played through La Mulana again just because he could, just to do a better version of it. But it was like 2-3 months after he had finished the other one. It was real recent, so a lot of people were giving him flack for it. So that's more than likely the thing, because then he went and did it again later on. So he replayed through the game like 3 or 4 times, but like there were eventually they became different versions, but like it started with just like, here's a blind playthrough, here's a experienced playthrough, here's the new version, here's like a special run of the new version. That's the main reason he got a lot of ridicule.
Is that like a no-no?
I mean, I can now.
I was gonna say probably, like this doesn't seem like a bad that bad a thing. Like, this
but like Something Awful was its own community. Like,
yeah,
it had weirdos there. So
nowadays it's not as bad a deal. But like if you wait long enough, or if it's a different version of the game, but like at the time it just seemed really weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, theoretically, as a viewer, couldn't you just not watch his videos?
Yeah, but that's
just me thinking too rationally.
That's the problem, though. If you're in a community forum like that, you're gonna point it out and give ridicule anyway. Especially one that Something Awful, where the idea is you just give shit to everyone, no matter what.
Okay, I guess it goes with the name.
Yeah,
John, you would be a terrible fanatic. You don't get outraged enough, and you think too clearly about things like this.
I have had lots of time to dwell on a lot of things, so maybe that's why.
And second
Doing this
question:
shit for too long.
Have any of you guys had frog legs? Essentially, they're longer, meatier chicken wings, but they're pretty good if you're at a Cajun restaurant.
I have. They're okay.
Yeah, I've had little tastes.
Mm-hmm. I've had crocodile. Crocodile also tastes like chicken.
I've never had that. I'd like to try that.
I got a bunch of weird meats in Banff at the
in Banff.
The Grizzly Bear, is that what it's called?
The Grizzly Inn, I think, something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, Banff. You can do their like fondues, or they have like an exotic one you can pick where they'll bring you a bunch of different weird meats, which is where I've had frog legs a couple times.
I've been meaning to go there and try snake because I know they sell snake there.
Rattlesnake is one of them. Yeah. They'll have like kangaroo, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, John, you got this next from Spy Gadget.
Sure. Next one comes from Spy Gadget, who says, Hey, TDP, I figure as podcasters, you guys have gotten used to hearing your own voice by now. Recently, I've tried my hand at commentating for our local Smash scene, but I've noticed I don't really like the sound of my voice. As time has gone on, I feel like I'm listening to a different person. How do you guys get used to hearing your own voice if you originally didn't like the sound of them, and how long did it take? I've just learned to tune out my own voice, basically.
I'm actually with Spy Gadget here. I hate it, but I don't care at all anymore.
I don't have to listen to my own voice that much.
Okay.
Like, I don't listen to the podcast. So
fair enough.
If I'm editing something, like I have to listen back to what I'm saying, and I'm like, oh man, I should have said this here. That would have been funnier. Or like, I can't believe I said that. It's like, I wonder why did my voice crack there? Ugh, all this stuff like that.
Oh, and the worst part about that is when you're doing like a very specific edit and you hear the same word you've said over and over and over and over. You're like, oh, I hate my voice so fucking much. Yeah. That shit sucks. You never get over it. You just learn to deal with it and move on.
Yeah, see, I don't edit the podcast like second by second. It's more just in waves, so I don't have to listen that much. But I guess you just can kind of get used to it.
Yeah. Maybe
he should do a funny voice, like put on a voice, do an accent.
You may hate that more. You may hate your voice more because of that.
Totally. Yeah.
How about this one? Why doesn't he just scream all of his commentary?
Yeah. I mean, it works for Jacksepticeye or whatever, so why not? Okay, Lucky.
I have no idea who that is.
That's a guy who screams a lot. Like, bring up any video at some point, and like the first 5 seconds are him literally screaming hello to you, basically. Lucky767 says asks if you were a unit in Fire Emblem, what type of unit would you be?
I feel like this is just what's your favorite unit.
I guess, like, this is the thing, is that if it's not what's your favorite unit, probably, like, one of those fucking farmers that runs away from battle. Like, probably just a dude,
I'm
like...
the first character that dies.
Yeah, like, if we're talking realistically, I'm probably the dude who is not meant to fight a guy with a sword and runs away like a little bitch. So...
I'm going to say a Myrmidon, because that's my favorite class.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna say Archer, but yeah, Myrmidon's good choice.
I'm still gonna say Farmer.
Like a Wyvern Rider or Draco Knight would be cool, because then you get to ride a dragon.
Yeah, you're right. Man, I would like to ride a dragon.
Or even just
Or
like
a
a Pegasus Knight or Falco Knight. Then you get to ride a Pegasus. That'd be super sweet too. Philip Plays writes, what movie from 2017, April this month to December, are you personally looking forward to the most? Aside from Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which comes out on December 15th, unless that's the only film you're looking forward to.
Resident Evil Vendetta.
This year, movie-wise.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming out?
Yes, there you go. That's my answer.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That new Spider-Man is coming out.
I like Spider-Man. I'll see it. I'm not
I'm looking forward
excited.
to it. I like that poster a lot.
Sure. That poster is really good.
Where he's just like hanging out, listening to some music. Also,
why is it aside from Star Wars? Like, why can't I be excited for the next Star Wars?
I think he's implying, like, of course you're excited for Star Wars.
Okay,
yeah, Star Wars.
Fair enough. Okay.
Which I'm not a giant Star Wars fan, so I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I'll see it, because how are you not going to see Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, really, but I am excited for it. Like, I like those movies. So
that new Pixar movie, the Day of the Dead one, is this year. I forget what it's called. What else is this year? Is Thor this year? I think Thor is this fall.
Even if it wasn't or was not excited, I would say, about a Thor movie.
I think Spider-Man's taking the Thor slot, and I think Thor might be next. Actually, no, maybe you're right.
No, because Spider-Man is still technically Sony.
It's a Sony, yeah. It's not part of the.
Well, it is part of the universe. They're just kind of helping, but Sony's putting it out.
Yeah.
Ragnarok's in October. Ragnarok is October or November. Sorry, November in the U.S.
Okay. I just remember. I believe Cars 3 is this year.
Right.
Who's excited for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Resident Evil Vendetta, though, is what I'm looking forward to. That is...
Didn't a Resident Evil movie just come out?
The live-action final chapter with Mila Jovovich or whatever did, yes. This is one of the CG movies.
And there's another one coming? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Great.
Yep. All right, where are we on here? Final question from James? Yeah. As you know, I've been naming your podcast episodes and giving you them every 8 weeks. This is the last podcast before I give you the next batch of games. Okay, next batch of names. I'm guessing that he means by that. Since I've been doing this for a while, I thought we could have some fun with it. I asked you to read this question last because my question is, what do you think this episode will be named? I'm fairly certain I will have it by this point, so just take a guess what it would be about. Probably Reboot.
Food shop?
It'll probably be about Reboot, because we spent like
probably
20 minutes talking about Reboot.
Oh yeah, I think I found that thing you were talking about, Sean. You said there was a dude who just talked in like binary code, and that's what in the birthday episode.
No,
that's what you're trying to remember.
No, in the background there was some kind of like a square of binary on like a wall. Again, this was so long ago, but
are you sure it's that episode? Because I couldn't.
I believe it was Enzo's birthday party. Yeah.
I couldn't find anything about it unless it's from like a later different part. I couldn't find anything on the talent show part. I found the Reboot wiki, and it's just like, here's every single reference in the episode. And nothing refers to a binary code, except for the comedian who literally just talks in binary.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I didn't think it was. But again, like I said, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go with Paul. It's probably something about Reboot. Or, you know what? Even more specifically, something about Mike the TV and memes.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Yeah, that's a good guess. I like that. I'm gonna stick with the generalization of Reboot.
John, what's this episode going to be called?
It's probably going to be Reboot related. I can't come with anything else. No, the episode's going to be called It's Probably Reboot Related.
All right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
For next week, people could send in questions at topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord group, John's P.O. Box. What's your guys' games of the week?
Zelda.
Mine's Zelda. I've been playing that.
That's the last time I get to say that, so from here on out, I can't.
I guess Andromeda by default.
Man.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
So, John, what are you going to use your Switch for going forward, man?
I mean, right now I'm working through Bomberman.
You could get Binding of Isaac. That has...
I already have it.
For $40.
That has infinite playability.
I mean, in a couple weeks, Puyo Puyo Tetris is going to be out, and Mario Kart 8 Remastered, or whatever the hell it's called. Refueled.
Deluxe?
Yeah, Deluxe, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Later, everyone.